I love reading and it's a massive escape, and I read all sorts of things. So I read quite a lot of non-fiction, science, as you'd expect, and I read lots of children's fiction because I find that a really interesting genre, and I love just reading. So I'm going to talk about The Hobbit by J.R.R. Tolkien. I love the book so much, basically. I have 3 copies of it. So this is my travel copy. So this is my one I picked up at a charity shop, which is very battered and goes everywhere with me and has been around the world. And then this is one I got for my birthday a few years ago. And I do have the 1950s copy that my dad read to me. He did all the voices and he just totally brought it to life. There's a photo somewhere of me and the 4 of us just sat on the floor looking absolutely captivated by my dad. And for me now, whenever I read it, and I've read it so many times, I hear my dad doing the voices. I don't particularly read out loud that much anymore, but what I love is listening to audiobooks.
Who are you? He said, thrusting the dagger out in front of him.
What is he? My precious,
whispered Gollum, who always spoke to himself through never having anyone else to speak to.
It's just an amazing tale of adventure and resilience and resourcefulness, and the little guy beating the big baddie and all the rest of it. I really like when they escape from the elves in the barrels, partly because it was really exciting and it's quite a high tension moment, but also it's where Bilbo he's on his own, he hasn't got Gandalf, he hasn't got the dwarves, and it's where he really comes into his own. He has to be clever and resilient and brave, and he doesn't have anyone to fall back on. And the dwarves, who have always thought him a bit of a nuisance up till now and a bit annoying and another mouth to feed, are suddenly totally in his hands. He has the keys to their prison cells, he's got the plan to get them out. And he does it, and they get rescued, and after that the whole dynamic of the book shifts.
Well done, Master Baggins. Go, come on, let's go!
I don't know why on earth they made 3 films. It's a short children's book. It's not Lord of the Rings.
Why don't we have a game of riddles?
if Baggins loses, we eat it whole.
Fair enough.
I don't hate them. They're good films. They're not films of the book that I have in my head. And I think that's just a danger when you love a book and you watch any adaptation. It's never going to be the same as the pictures in your head and the voices in your head. I'd recommend this to anybody who loves adventures, and if you like fantasy and world building, because the world building in Tolkien is absolutely phenomenal, and there's other languages and there's history and mythology all built in, as well as the story. And so if you like something that you can completely escape to, that is just a whole other world, there's maps, there's runes, there's stories, there's songs and ancient myths and things. So there's a lot more to it than just they started at A and they went to B and this is what happened on the way. There's a lot of background world building as well.